Listen, y'all, listen, Jesus, okay, pulled me up out the bed in my pajamas, baby, because I was chilling. I'm clean now. I took a shower. So don't go there.
Yo, 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 what's up, good people? It's your girl, Mia. Jesus is showing out, so the doctor is in. Hello, 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 and welcome to Private Practice with your host, Dr. Mia. Let's get it.
Yo, what's up, good people? It's your girl, Mia. Jesus is showing out, so the doctor is in. Hello, hello, hello. Listen, y'all, listen, Jesus, okay, pulled me up out the bed in my pajamas, baby, because I was chilling. I'm clean now. I took a shower. So don't go there. But pull me up out the bed, right? Because I've been, today was one of them days where we're purging. It's actually supposed to be my me day, right? So today is the day where I allow God to pour into me, right? To pull out things and to pour into me, right? So today, I'm reflecting on my journals, I'm reading through, and shockingly, a few months ago, almost a little over 6 months ago, the Lord revealed to me about Dr. Mia's private practice, right? And the way he did it was through a dream, then him explaining to me what happened in the dream, basically saying, I'm the physician for a group of people and this is my private practice, right? This is how I provide healing, right? The way he healed me is the way I provide healing. Okay, say less. So, and literally said Dr. Mia's private practice, right? Again, had no idea that the name of my podcast was a prophecy from months ago until I read it. And I actually read it last week, but again, that's probably why he pulled me out the bed, because I didn't do a recording when he told me the first time. But anywho, but then he also revealed another ministry to me called Beyond the Pages. Now, Beyond the Pages, every time I say it, I itch, so we're going to leave that where it's at, but he also revealed that. But I'm saying all that to say this, right? He also revealed to me, because I often refer to my transformation and the processes that I've been through as starting as a a caterpillar, then going through my cocoon phase, which is my isolation, right? My isolation phase, and then later becoming a butterfly. Now, if these things are true, and I did start one way, went into isolation for transformation, and am coming out another way, then in my mind, the only creature that could, again, leaning on my own understanding, the only creature that is comparable to is a butterfly, right? Because a butterfly is the only species, or so I thought, that comes into this world one way and leaves another. Well, there's another species that continuously rejuvenates. In fact, this particular mythical being comes to life, dies in flames, and is reborn from the ashes, right? So, which is a phoenix, which is more in alignment with the living sacrifice, dying daily, all those things, right? So, as a phoenix, right? So he gave me that today, phoenix. Be in the mindset of a phoenix, be in the mindset of dying, trial by fire, dying and being reborn stronger with more knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Okay, right? So if we take that and apply that to our lives, what does that then look like? Well, as the process unfolds, each time you die, you must understand the ashes that you're coming out of, right? You must understand the ashes. So this will be my first time talking about what got burnt up in the ashes with this last transition, right? Jada, sit down. I'm not gonna say it no more. Get over there and sit down. Sorry, y'all, because her nails on the floor is doing things. However, so what's in the ashes? Okay, so wavering faith is in the ashes. What does that look like? Okay, so in my previous years, having faith was solely dependent on a herd mindset. right? I believed according to the beliefs of everyone who surrounded me, right? And that causes it to waver, because if the people around you have wavy faith, you're going to have wavy faith. If they have solid faith, your faith is solid. So that died in the ashes. Now, and again, this was a process. So that doesn't mean once the ashes appeared or I died in the flames or my transformation was complete, it just instantaneously happened. No, this took years of noticing the inconsistencies in faith around me and how it impacted my inconsistency with my faith. Then it took time for me to start standing on my faith despite, how everybody else was standing on their faith. Then it also graduated into, okay, this is my faith. I have to be confident in it, whether I'm in front of people or not in front of people. Because what'll happen is some of us, and I'll be the first to admit, some of us will be faith filled in front of people, standing our ground. But then when we by ourselves, we question it, right? We don't go back and let people know that we're questioning it, but we do question it. So then even when those questions arise, I took it to the throne, right? I took it to the throne, and now it's to the point where God gives me scripture to support, right? And of course, I know, people gonna say, oh, say no scripture too. Yeah. However, if the scripture is read in context and in its entirety, then it's used to support your actions. Keep walking according to that, especially if it's not causing you to sin. Keep walking according to that. So that's what died in the ashes, my wavering faith. Believing that I have to trust God without being concerned, right? That had to burn in the ashes, right? Why? Because a lot of times we hear things like trust, faith, hope, belief, and we automatically assume that we're going to be happy while we're doing it, like we're going to be joyous. That's not realistic, and it will cause you to condemn yourself because you're associating tools for endurance and long suffering and patience with an emotion. Like, being hopeful means that whatever you're hoping for, you don't have. Being faithful means that you're believing in something that you know can happen. You've seen it happen, but it's not happening for you. These things require action internally and externally. It does not mean that you're going to be comfortable, right? You're not going to be comfortable while you're trusting. You're not going to be comfortable while you're hoping. You're not going to be comfortable while you're being faithful. Like, feeling like I'm supposed to have a positive mindset is, how can I say this? Thinking positively is not questioning God or going against God, but believing God, right? Notice nowhere in there did I say you're having you just so excited. And it's okay to be excited, but it's also okay to be aware of where you are in the world right now in this moment, right? Which is uncomfortable, but you hope. You pray, you trust, you believe, you read, you do all these things. But show yourself some grace, right? Don't complain. You know what I'm saying? Find the joy in all things. Pull from the things around you that you do have, and wait for those that you don't. Don't complain about what you don't have, but wait for them. And if he doesn't bring them, the fact that you appreciate what you have around you, that appreciation will then turn into content, right? You're content. You want for nothing, right? You need for nothing. Because if you are alive and you can hit this live and you can log on and you can, put clothes on, you can breathe, you can do, every day is an opportunity to gain more from God, right? But he must be what you seek first, right? He must be what you seek first. Whatever you're seeking should be to make you more valuable and more worthy and more ready for his use, not more ready to parade around for the masses. So, making me telling myself that I have to be comfortable and absent of concern when it comes to trusting God, I had to let it go. Because I know this comfort thing is just evident. You're going to be uncomfortable because otherwise, why would you need to be hopeful? Why would you need to be faithful? Why would you need to be all those things if you were comfortable, right? You're not, and you're never going to be 100% comfortable till he returns. So let's eliminate the comfort part. Now, the concern should decrease, right? It should decrease over time. It should, especially because some things that you're concerned about influence your life right now, right? They're influencing your life. So that's why they're a concern. But focusing on the concern, there we go. Not focusing on the concern, died in the ashes. Okay? Not focusing on the concern. Yes, it's going to come up. Yes, it's going to be brought to the forefront, but not letting that take away my focus off of the Lord that died in the ashes. You know what I'm saying? And that's what allows us and will continue to allow us to show up even though we have concerns that are influencing our current environment. What else died in the ashes? Titles, the need for titles. Do I want to serve a purpose? Do I want to, have a career that's fulfilling and sustains me and allows me to be a helpmeet for my husband? Absolutely. Do I need a title to do that? Absolutely not. A title, no titles necessary, no batteries included. Don't need none of that, right? Because what is the title? What is it really for? Other than to make a conversation about with somebody else. And even then, like, what is it benefiting me to be able to say, oh, well, I'm this person in this organization? How is that going to get me into the kingdom, to be honest? So let's throw that away. So that burned in the ashes. The idea that every talent that I have is not valuable burned in the ashes. Every talent that is in me, that God plants in us, is valuable and can be fit for the master's use if properly used with intent, right? People can sing and bring, and draw you into a ministry that leads you to the throne and to prayer. Some people can lead you to do the wrong things. It's all about the intent of the worship, right? The intent of the gift as it's used. So believing that anything that God put in me to do is not valuable, that died in the ashes, right? Needing to follow a structure or, trend in order to be in alignment with God. That's in the ashes. Because it's like, okay, if it's common, then how is that in alignment with God's walk and with Jesus's walk? If it's common, then how is it in alignment with Jesus's walk? His walk was unique. It was different. He stuck out. You know what I'm saying? The way he did things and the example that he set was different from every other person in his field of expertise, which is why they ultimately ended up doing what they did to him because of jealousy, wrath, envy, all of those operations of the flesh. So me believing that I'm going to go be sent to a place and go into that place and not meet some type of opposition, that died in the ashes. As I can see, a lot of things died in the ashes. You know what I mean? This is my first time actually having a spiritual, what do you call that, dying daily type of thing where everything that was going was only internal. In previous times, it was more like, I'm moving to another place, or my old place is dying, or my old way of wearing clothes is dying, baby. Everything else it's a total mindset and perception shift, right? And it was gradual. It was just, but now he's like, okay, now I need you to speak it out. And I know why, because a lot of us are probably going through this shift You know what I'm saying? Walking, like I heard a video earlier about this girl. I mean, I'm sorry, this woman talking about how she, can walk into a room right now without anxiety or be around people that don't like her, without feeling away. And I had that shift as well. You know what I mean? But I also understand that we wrestle not with flesh and blood, but spiritual wickedness in high places. So it ain't necessarily the person that don't like me. It's the spirit that's on them that don't like me. Okay. Cause they know listen, I'm 10 toes down with Jesus and I'm with all the smoke. And that's another thing that died in the ashes. It has been dead, but it kept trying to revive itself. But I can honestly and wholeheartedly say wicked imaginations has been died in the ashes and repurposed as spiritual warfare and awareness of spiritual wickedness, right? And how it maneuvers throughout the world. Because if God lives in all of us, God can't hate God, right? So if the spirit of God lives in other people, they can't hate you. Now, whatever's influencing them can hate you because either at one point, what's influencing them now has influenced you at one point and you're free from it. And now it's big man, not little man. So now it's using this vessel, most likely somebody you love, to try to make you conform back to that nature in order to, bond back with the vessel. No, ma'am. No, sir. Once you free, stay free. And if you can, like my husband say, if it be in your if it be in your ability to do, live peaceably among all men. Well, that's what the book say. But my husband say that a lot. If you can recover them, recover them. Recover them. But not by any means necessary, because the spirit has to be willing, even if the flesh is weak. And sometimes their inner spirit is not influencing them. Their outer body and the woes of this world is influencing them more than the spirit within them. So, and there's nothing, they have to want it, right? So that, going into places where people don't like me and feeling away, dead. It's dead, right? Because again, I love everybody. I don't have to like your behavior to love you. So that died. So homework. I encourage all of us as we're dying daily, right, to assess what we've really let go and why, right? Why did you have to let those things go? What transformed out of that? Out of the titles, what transformed out of that is purpose that can be served in any industry, anywhere, in any position, doing anything. I no longer have limitations on my assigned profession, spiritually nor physically. It doesn't have limitations anymore. So, in getting rid of those titles, it opened me up to more opportunities mentally, right? Because if you feel like you went to school for education and that's all you can do, that puts you in a box. But when you eliminate what the world is saying about that profession and then just extract the skills and the knowledge and understanding that you got from it, you will see how much more it applies to, right? So getting rid of those titles helped tremendously. Not getting rid of what I believed how I was supposed to feel while I'm trusting God. Getting rid of that helped me trust him more. It gave me more peace. You know what I'm saying? It didn't give me comfort. And again, as those concerns come up, I still have peace because yes, as of right now, I'm still hoping and having faith, which means I still haven't gotten whatever I've asked for. However, I'm at peace because I know it's coming. I know it's coming because I know my God. And I know what seasons of rest are for. They're for transformation, they're for preparation, they're for refilling, regeneration, and reconciliation. They're for what they're for. So I'm just in that season of refill, in this season of him, you know, kind of customizing me for the prayer, for my request. So whatever I ask for, not only does he have to prepare that for me, but he has to prepare me for it. So the peace, I got peace. I got an understanding of stillness and what it means to be still. And I'm also learning more about joy while trusting, right? Joy while trusting is knowing that if I'm not focused on what I'm waiting for, I can see him paving the way towards what I'm waiting for. Um what else did I say was in there? I said it was a lot of things in the ashes, but the short of the short, baby, he pulled me up out the bed. Okay. Pulled me up out the bed in my pajamas. Was like, you need to talk about this. And I don't know why. So whoever this is for, baby, I hope you got what you needed, okay? I hope you got it. Okay? Because I sure got it. All right. I sure got it. And I just encourage you to acknowledge, and I guess he's dropping it on me now, like as you come out those ashes, he needs you to understand what you left behind and what he gave you in its place. Okay? Because that exchange is also a way of arming you and training you to be able to overcome and combat that once you take flight again. Whatever you burned up in the ashes and whatever tools, skills, knowledge, and understanding came after that, those same tools, knowledge, and understanding that you got can combat what burned in the ashes. So when he purges you, as he shapes and refines and reforms you and strips away things, don't forget what caused you to have those things in the first place, because those are symptoms that you can use to diagnose yourself and others. Don't forget how it affected you, because that's also symptoms and characteristics and behaviors, the way it made you act, that can help you assess yourself and others. And do not forget, most importantly, how you overcame it. Praying, fasting, whatever you did to overcome it, because that's how you can combat it and protect yourself from it later. And then also remember and pay attention to how you practice, because that's how you can teach it and lead by example. All right. So, everybody, take some time, process through your ashes. And while you processing through it, baby, let them provide the increase. Peace.
Grace and peace, physicians. If you enjoyed the vibe, click subscribe. Peace.